god, what is this build? Oh my god. Oh my god, boys. Alrighty, guys, I've got another build video for y'all. This is gonna be the Odo hammer build. Guys, I made this build like the other day and it has been a ton of fun. I've been showcasing it on stream, and I showed you guys like a bit of a teaser clip on how like the build is performing, and you guys overwhelmingly are like, dude, when you gonna post a build video? I'm like, don't worry, it'll be out very soon. So we're rocking one piece Frigidon. This is gonna be full 5-piece shuriken heals. We got featherweight, another piece of Frigidon. I got Sunring Shockwave on the body, gotta have it. It's another rend that you apply with Shockwave, and the more rends you can have in stack, the better, especially with running Warhammer. And then Hasted Vigor on the body as well, just to give us a little more speed and to reduce the potency of those incoming dots and the duration of them. Now I managed to pick up this round shield. Dude, I stole this round shield, bro. 7 gold off the trading post. I couldn't believe it. I think someone saw that the gear score was 642 and was like, oh man, this is nothing. But the biggest thing you want is Mending Vortex on the round shield to give us that extra healing when we use our Vortex. And as a bonus, it's got Enchanted Ward and Sturdy. So if you can get those perks as well on your round shield, that's a bonus. And of course, Warhammer. I got Plague Strikes, Trench Recovery, and Sunring Clear Out. Sunring Clear Out on the weapon is absolutely insane. That 24% rend for 7 seconds. Way better than if you were to throw this on the body and then go Sunring Shockwave. And of course, having Plague Strikes, having that anti-heal. I always say with all my builds, you gotta have some form of anti-heal. The amount of lifesteal and then the healers you will come across is absolutely crazy. And of course, Trench Recovery, when we are trading heavy attacks with other players that are using Great Sword or even those pesky Void Blade users, we can definitely go back and forth, and 9 times out of 10 we do win that fight. Then of course, I'm rocking an Abyssal Retaliate gem. This is Jasper, just to add some more in power, because we're going to be taking hits all the time while we are on the Warhammer. And now the infamous Odo. Oh man. So yeah, when I was like looking at builds, and I was like, I haven't done a Flail build before, and I never ran Flail. And I was like, why not look into Odo? So the intrinsic perk on Odo's Punishment. You deal 20% more damage to stunned or knocked down foes, and it applies to both weapons. That is huge. The amount of burst damage you have with Warhammer, and then you add that 20% more damage. Oh man, you get those sneaky armor breakers in, they are not ready for it. And it's got the Odo's defense on block. You heal for 5% your base health, has a 3-second cooldown, life stealing, refreshing move. And then I went and added Powerful Eruption. Eruption hits deal 10% increased damage per stack of impairment on the target, and we're going to be adding a ton of impairment, so that increase to damage is going to benefit us a lot. Rocket Stone Form. Stone Form is always the go-to mending form at that. Tanglevine Amulet. This is pretty easy to obtain. Another really good named item. It rolls with health and thrust protection. I went ahead and added Divine to give us that 10% health from all incoming healing effects. And of course, we're rocking Blood Drinker. I've been loving this artifact on a lot of my builds. The amount of healing you get back and still the amount of damage you can put out, just that high sustain, being able to stay in the fight is so important. I went ahead and put invigorated punishment on the ring just so you can use this artifact on multiple different builds and you don't have to use it for only one specific damage type. But if you were to only use this ring for a specific damage type, feel free to use that damage type. And then the earring, healthy toast, healing heart, and regenerating. That healing heart, that huge burst of health is so helpful. We have a lot of dots running with Flail, so we're just building that ult regeneration very quickly. As far as our resistances go, I've got 2 onyxes, 2 moonstone, 1 ruby, and then 3 opals. Now I switched this up. A follower and subscriber to the channel, Berserking, huge shout out to the homie. He put me onto this resistance spread. I normally ran 5 opals and 3 moonstones, but this right here, guys, is actually very, very good. You're able to cover all of the resistances, and I think I noticed a bump in my survivability when it comes to fighting fire staff, you know, and hatchet, all the meta weapons. But like I said, I think it's a really good setup. Feel free to mix and match to your liking. As far as the attributes go, we've got 400 strength, 50 intelligence, 50 focus, and 128 con. Now, if you put 50 into intelligence, not only do you get 5% damage increase to backstabs and random critical hits, which is really nice. We also get 5% base damage increase to targets inflicted with a damage over time effect. We are always applying those dots, so just that having that increase in damage is very helpful. I go 400 strength just to really pump the damage for the Warhammer and then get as much damage for Odo as possible, because we don't want to go more than 50 focus. More than 50 focus with what we're trying to do is just, it's going to be wasting attribute points. And then I just went ahead and put the rest in a con. Yeah, we are at 128, but I'm telling you, the survivability is insane. I can't believe it. You guys, I'm telling you, you'll have a lot of fun with this build. And now on to the Warhammer skill tree. This is what I've got going right now. Be sure to pause the video or take a screenshot. And as I always say in all my videos, be sure to, you know, mix and match the skill trees to your liking. What works for me, you know, may not work for you. And then the flail and shield skill tree, be sure to pause the video or take a screenshot and change it up to your liking. Keep in mind, having the last passive, the flailing stability, is so huge on Arcane Vortex. Being able to cleanse the crowd control status effects, the root, stun, and slow, and you're immune to them for 1 second is also really nice. And then having the last passive for the trip ability, destabilize, reactivating this ability, or use a basic attack to add a follow-up heavy attack that deals 145% weapon damage. And that is strike damage. It is really nice to have just some of those passives you'll want to keep on there. The flail has a lot of utility and a lot of damage potential. Now, some tips I could give you guys as far as, you know, combo setups and stuff. So initiating the fight, you want to try to, depending on your opponent, of course, but ideally we want to hit them with a clear out, and then we run over armor breaker. They're gonna roll, and we want to try to catch them in the roll with the shockwave, switch, trip, follow up into eruption, and then catch them with the vortex, slow them, to switch back, hit them with armor breaker. I mean, by then that is a ton of damage that you're going to be putting out. That isn't a perfect world scenario. This build, I'm telling you, it's all about timing. You got to be patient. You may not always get those opportunities, But a lot of times I like to do is you can look like you're going for heavy and then you hit them with a block like this. Try to bait a little bit. You got to play some mind games, you know, so that they will use an attack and then you can hit them with a shockwave into a clear out. You do armor breaker, switch, maybe hit a vortex to slow, and then hit him. You always hit the trip into eruption. Don't use eruption then trip. It will throw off the whole combo, and also you won't get as much damage from your eruption doing so. And another thing that is pretty frustrating is a lot of times people will run away from you. That's where this build has a lot of good tools to keep up with those runners. We get a lot of haste from the Warhammer and Flail on top of the hasted vigor that we have on the armor. You'll be able to keep up with a lot of people, but sometimes, unfortunately, people do run away and end up getting away from you. But hey, that's a win in my book, though. This build has a lot of high sustain, mobility, and burst damage, guys. I think you're gonna enjoy this one. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and a huge shout out to you guys. We just hit 500 subscribers on the channel, and we're growing, man. There will be more build videos to come in the future. I'm going to be doing a new build video every week. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like. And don't forget, I stream over on Twitch almost every day. Twitch.tv/emandidit. Download in the description. I'm always theory crafting and build testing over there. So if you want to see the builds before I can make a video, be sure to tune in over on Twitch. And as always, guys, I'll catch y'all in the next one.